Welcome to the deep dive, where we dig into the everyday stuff to find, well, the not so everyday stories. Today, we're looking at something you might have used this morning, actually lipstick. But not just the lipstick itself. What really makes a tube of lipstick, more than just the tube? Seems simple, right? Just plastic or metal holding the color. Well, maybe think again. We're doing a deep dive into the global lipstick packaging market today. And we're getting our facts and figures straight from a detailed report by Cognitive Market Research. It's called the Global Lipstick Packaging Market Analysis and Forecast.
Yeah, and our mission really is to show you what's going on behind the scenes with this thing we barely notice. We want to pull out some surprising facts and just how big the money is here. It's about appreciating the thought, the design, the sheer value in something so well common.
Okay, so let's start simple. From my perspective or yours listening, the packaging just holds the lipstick, keeps it neat, stops it messing up my bag.
Exactly. That's the consumer view. But for the cosmetics industry, oh, it's way, way more crucial. Fundamentally, it's got to ensure product integrity. Keep the lipstick stable, no drying out, no melting, protecting it from light or air. And just as vital, hygiene, keeping it clean, untouched, safe from contamination until you use it. That's the baseline, the absolute must-haves.
Right, the practical stuff. But it does more than that, doesn't it? It sort of steps beyond just function. This is where it starts influencing us, the buyers.
It absolutely does. I mean, think about it. The package is the first thing you touch, the first thing you see, long before you even try the shade. It massively boosts the visual appeal. It's like a little ambassador on the shelf. You see a sleek, heavy metal case, maybe it feels expensive, signals luxury, or bright, fun plastic. That screams youthful, trendy.
Ah, so the look tells you something immediately.
Exactly. It's communicating the brand's whole vibe, its promise. It builds this emotional connection before the product's even opened. Brands pour money into textures, unique ways it clicks open. And all those little things, they make it feel special, memorable. It's not just about the lipstick inside anymore.
That's fascinating. So, given all that, what kinds of packaging are we actually seeing out there? What's the range?
Oh, it's incredibly varied.
Yeah.
Material-wise, you've got your standard plastics, obviously quite durable. Then there's metal, often for more premium feel.
Mhm.
And increasingly, you're seeing sustainable options, recycled materials, bamboo, things like that.
Yeah.
Consumers are asking for it.
Okay, and the shapes, the formats.
Well, the classic twist-up tube is still king.
Yeah.
But refillable cases are getting really popular. Good for the planet, feels a bit more luxe too sometimes. And then you have the really high-end designer casings. They're almost like little sculptures, collectibles even.
Okay, let's unpack this economic side then, because it's not just clever design, is it? The market itself is, well, the numbers are pretty eye-opening. We're talking about serious growth here.
That's right. It's booming. Two main things are driving it, really. First, just the global rise in people buying cosmetics. It keeps going up, especially with younger people who are all over beauty trends, social media. And second, huge demand from emerging economies, places where more people have money to spend, and they're getting more into beauty products. It's a powerful mix.
So let's talk actual money. How big are we talking globally for lipstick packaging?
Okay, get ready for this. According to that Cognitive Market Research report back in 2021, the market was already worth $1,355.39 million. That's over $1.3 billion.
Wow. Okay.
And it's growing. They estimate it'll hit $1,669.5 million by 2025. But the projection out to 2033, that's where it gets really big, $532.97 million. So yeah, over $2.5 billion. That works out to a compound annual growth rate, the CAGR, of 5.349% between 2025 and 2033. That's solid, consistent growth year over year.
Okay, I admit that's much bigger than I'd have imagined for, just the tube. Really puts it in perspective. So those are the huge global numbers. But beauty's so different around the world. Where's the action happening? Which regions are driving this?
Great question. And yeah, the regional breakdown is where you see some really interesting dynamics. Asia Pacific is the giant here, no question. It was the biggest market in 2021, valued at $540.8 million. And it's set to basically double by 2033, hitting over $1 billion, $165.87 million to be exact.
$1 billion just in Asia Pacific for the packaging.
Yep. Within that, China's a huge piece of the pie, projected to reach almost $320 million by 2033. Japan's significant too, heading towards $240 million. But keep an eye on India. Its growth is forecasted to be really rapid. Yeah, from about $92 million in 2021, it's expected to jump to over $200 million by 2033. Huge potential there.
Okay, so Asia Pacific leading the charge, especially China, Japan, and fast-growing India. What about North America?
North America is the second largest. It was around $389 million back in 2021. The forecast sees it growing to nearly $700 million, $691.5 million by 2033. The U.S. is obviously the main driver there, expected to be over $500 million itself by 2033. But Canada and Mexico are important too, both showing pretty strong growth projections, heading towards the high 80s and low 80s million respectively.
Makes sense. And Europe, always a big player in cosmetics.
Europe's definitely significant, valued at about $255 million in 2021 and projected to reach roughly $448 million by 2033. Key countries, you've got Germany, France, the UK, all contributing substantially, all growing steadily. Maybe not quite the explosive rate of some Asian markets,
Yep.
but very solid.
Okay, steady growth in Europe. What about other parts of the world? South America, the Middle East, Africa?
Yeah, absolutely seeing growth there too. South America, for instance, was $88 million in 2021, and it's projected to grow to over $182 million by 2033. Brazil is the powerhouse in that region, expected to roughly double its market size. The Middle East is another notable one. Around $51.5 million in 2021, growing towards $83.6 million. Saudi Arabia is a key player there. And Africa, well, starting from a smaller base, about $31 million in 2021, is also growing. It's expected to reach over $61 million by 2033. Countries like Nigeria and South Africa are showing particularly strong upward trends. It reflects the expanding beauty markets right across the continent.
It's amazing. We've really gone from just, a simple tube to this massive, complex, multi-billion-dollar global picture. So wrapping this up, what we've clearly seen is that lipstick packaging isn't just a throwaway container. Not at all. It's functional, yes, but it's also about design, consumer psychology, massive economic growth, and these really different regional stories. The scale is just, well, it's impressive.
It really is. What's really fascinating is how this tiny object, this thing we barely think about, holds such enormous weight in a huge global industry. It really shows how the outside can be just as crucial as the inside for a product's success. It makes you wonder, doesn't it? If this much thought and money goes into lipstick packaging, what other everyday items have these hidden layers of design, market strategy, and economic force that we just completely miss?
That's a great question to leave people with. Maybe the next time you pick up, well, anything really, take a second look at the packaging. There's probably a whole hidden world of economic trends and decisions right there in your hand. Definitely something to think about. Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're plunging into something you might not think about much. Lipstick packaging.
Right. Seems simple, just a tube.
Exactly. But the sources we've looked at show it's way more than just a container. It's tangled up in brand strategy, sustainability fights, the whole consumer experience, really.
Definitely.
So our mission is to pull out the most, important bits from all this market data. Okay, let's unpack this.
Yeah, and what's fascinating here is how this packaging, something we often just, toss aside, actually tells us a lot about bigger market trends and consumer behavior. It's this really complex meeting point of design, tech, and values.
And we think by the end of this, you'll have some genuinely surprising facts, sort of a shortcut to understanding this niche but really dynamic area. So let's kick off with how lipstick packaging became such a statement piece. It really starts with this drive for premiumization.
Making things feel high-end.
Exactly. The data shows consumers, especially in cities, North America, Europe, East Asia, mature markets, they're leaning towards fancier beauty products.
Right.
And packaging. It's not just protection anymore. It's like the first hit of brand storytelling. It delivers that luxury feel before you even twist the lipstick up.
Yeah, that first impression.
Think about those metallic finishes, magnetic closures, that satisfying click-embossed logos, things you can feel.
Black towel stuff.
Yeah, it's all designed to scream exclusivity. And then you got Instagram, TikTok.
Oh, yeah. Huge impact.
Totally. They blow it up. Suddenly, the packaging itself is a visual statement. It fuels those I want that purchases, gifting, especially around holidays.
That's a really key point. It's moved beyond just the lipstick inside. Brands are selling this elevated aesthetic experience.
Right.
The package isn't just holding the product. It's crafting this whole perception of value, the feeling it gives you. It really changes where the value actually lies.
That desire for fancy is one thing, but then there's this other huge force, sustainability, a completely different kind of value.
Massive shift.
Yeah, and it's reshaping packaging, too.
Yeah.
We're seeing this big demand for sustainable options across beauty, driven by, eco-conscious shoppers, Gen Z, millennials especially.
They're actively looking for it.
They are. They want recyclable, biodegradable, refillable tubes. You see Big names like Dior, Guerlain, they've brought out refillable cases.
Which is clever.
It is. Cuts waste, sure, but it also makes the packaging kind of collectible, desirable in its own right.
Mm-hmm.
And beyond refills, there's paper tubes, PCR, plastic post-consumer recycled bamboo, aluminum, lots of material innovation.
And it's not just consumers demanding it, right? There's pressure from regulations, too.
Definitely. Places like the EU, California, they're pushing rules for less plastic, more recyclability. It's coming from both sides.
So it's not just a trend, is it? It feels more like a fundamental shift. It's about consumer values, environmental responsibility.
Yeah.
Which does make you ask, how serious are brands about this? Like truly committing beyond just, the marketing spin, especially when these materials often cost more.
That's the core issue, isn't it? Avoiding that greenwashing perception. Real commitment seems to mean looking at the whole supply chain, not just swapping materials.
Right.
Which naturally leads us to a third disruptor. These indie and direct-to-consumer DTC beauty brands.
Well, the challengers.
Totally. They are masters at using things like limited edition designs, collabs with influencers, that whole unboxing moment.
Building community.
Exactly. Building loyalty. And they're nimble. No old systems holding them back. They can quickly try out bold, fun packaging for specific groups.
Very targeted.
Their whole strategy is often about personalization, telling a story, engaging the senses, and that really clicks with younger, digital-first consumers.
Yeah.
It's fascinating how they use e-commerce to create these custom touchpoints. The lipstick tube becomes like a little brand ambassador sent straight to your door.
You nailed it there. They're selling an experience. And it starts right with the package.
Yeah.
And because they engage directly, skipping traditional retail sometimes, they push boundaries. They force the big established brands to innovate faster than maybe they're used to.
Right.
Which poses a real challenge for those legacy companies.
Yeah.
How do you adapt your often slower processes to match that kind of speed and direct connection?
That is the million-dollar question. Seems the whole industry is trying to figure that out.
Yeah.
Which brings us nicely to the less glamorous side, the challenges.
Not all shiny tubes and eco-dreams.
Definitely not.
Our sources point to one main hurdle. The sheer cost of these premium or eco-friendly materials.
Right.
Custom molds, those magnetic bits, biodegradable stuff.
Yeah.
It all adds up, significantly bumps up production cost.
Which must be tough for smaller players.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
A huge barrier for small and mid-sized brands with tight margins. It forces this really difficult balancing act, design versus sustainability versus price. And you often have to make trade-offs that might hurt the product's appeal, or even if it's viable to sell at all. It's a tricky spot.
That glamour or green tension is real. And then on top of material costs, you've got external economic stuff hitting too.
Like supply chains.
Exactly. Global supply chain disruptions made worse by things like the pandemic, and the sources mention potential 2025 tariffs.
Yes, that uncertainty.
It's messed with getting raw materials, metal alloys, special plastics, those decorative bits. And the result, delayed launches, longer waits for products, especially hitting hard during peak times like holidays or big beauty drops.
It just highlights how vulnerable these global supply chains are. And it pushes the need for, resilience, strategic thinking.
Yeah.
Brands have to think beyond just cost now, more about managing risk. Where are they sourcing from? Do they have backups?
And one more challenge, a constant headache, really. Counterfeiting, fake packaging.
Ugh, yeah, big problem.
Especially in places where IP protection isn't as strong, people copy the premium packaging.
Deceiving customers.
Totally. Erodes brand trust, tricks people into buying fakes, and just tanks the value of the real deal. So brands fight back, investing in anti-counterfeit tech, holographic seals, QR codes, NFC tags for tracking.
But that costs money too.
Exactly. It adds another layer of expense. It's like this constant arms race.
It really is. An ongoing battle to protect their IP requires constant innovation just to stay ahead.
Yeah.
And it hits profits, sure. But more importantly, it hits brand reputation and that consumer loyalty long term. You have to protect the whole ecosystem.
So, yeah, lots of complexities. But innovation doesn't stop, right? Let's shift gears to the exciting stuff, the future trends shaping lipstick packaging. What's coming next?
Okay, yeah. One of the biggest things gaining real momentum is refillable and modular designs.
Yes, we touched on that.
Right. But it's not just about being green. It offers consumers this customizable, collectible thing. The packaging itself becomes kind of a lifestyle accessory.
Makes sense.
You see luxury brands offering interchangeable lipstick bullets, limited edition cases. It hits both the sustainability angle and that desire for something personal, special.
That's smart. Makes the packaging part of the product's life, not just disposable. And what
Well,
about tech?
oh, that's getting interesting. Smart packaging, it's opening up new ways to market.
Like what?
Think lipstick tubes with QR codes embedded, or maybe augmented reality AR print on them.
Okay.
Scan it with your phone and boom, virtual try-ons, makeup tutorials, brand stories pop up.
Cool.
It boosts the experience after you've bought it, and it bridges the gap between the physical product you're holding and the brand's digital world.
Right. Connects the dots.
What's really powerful there is how it makes the packaging interactive.
Yeah.
It's not just sitting there. It extends the brand experience way beyond just buying it, turns the tube into a little gateway.
And then there's personalization. Huge trend.
Massive.
Mass customization, personalization. It's really changing how packaging engages people. Brands letting you engrave names, add initials, pick your own case color.
Making it yours.
Exactly. Creates this emotional connection. Makes you more likely to share it online, which is free marketing, basically.
Organic reach.
And you also see seasonal or limited edition packaging tied to events, movies, celebrity collabs. That creates urgency, exclusivity. Drives sales. It's like collecting sneakers or something.
If we connect that to the bigger picture, it taps right into psychology, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Owning something unique, something limited.
Totally.
Brands use that to build deeper connections.
Yeah.
Makes consumers feel like they're part of an exclusive club.
Yeah.
A community driven by this little object.
Right. Genius for loyalty. Okay, let's zoom out now. Look at the global picture, the big players.
Okay, so the sources show the global scene is choppy. You've got trade protectionism, rising material costs we talked about, shifting consumer values.
Yeah.
It's forcing the lipstick packaging market onto this path where they have to juggle creativity, sustainability, and smart logistics. Like the tariff impacts, especially U.S.-China, that's pushing brands to rethink supply chains, maybe look at nearshoring manufacturing closer to home, even using AI for procurement to handle the volatility.
Wow, AI in packaging procurement.
Yeah. And you see product redesigns, SKU rationalization, basically, simplifying their product lines to try and protect profits without disappointing customers.
And stuff. It sounds incredibly complex behind what looks like a simple product. So who are the main companies navigating all this, the leaders?
The sources name a few key players. Companies like Albia, HTP, Libo Cosmetics, Quadpack, RPC Group. These are some of the big ones.
Okay.
They offer the whole package, literally. Integrated solutions, materials, function, design. They're investing big in automation, R&D for eco-materials, anti-counterfeiting.
Right.
That makes them go-to partners for the huge multinational cosmetic giants, but also for those nimble DTC brands we mentioned earlier.
So they serve both ends of the market.
Exactly. Which really underlines their strategic importance, their capabilities, their constant innovation. They're not just responding to the market. They're actively shaping its future. They set the standards. They bring a lot of these new ideas to life.
So what does this all mean? We started looking at, well, lipstick packaging. Seems simple. And we found it's like a mini version of huge global trends, sustainability, tech, consumer psychology, tricky economics. It's all in there.
It really is.
Hopefully you now have a much richer understanding of an industry that's way more strategic than most people think. The insights go far beyond just beauty products.
And this brings up, I think, an interesting question to ponder. Given all this rapid change, the innovation, the customization, the eco demands in lipstick packaging, what other everyday things might be next? What other products could be on the verge of a similar packaging revolution, totally changing how we see them and interact with them? Maybe look at the packaging around you a bit differently now. Consider the stories it's trying to tell.
That's a great thought to end on. Thank you for joining us on this really insightful deep dive into the world of lipstick packaging.